Yo, what's up everybody? It's the Anime Corner. Got another haul for you guys. It's been a long time since I made a video. Been wanting to get out this haul for quite some time, but I've been really busy dealing with a lot of doctor's appointments, and I also just recently moved into a new house, so that's been taking up all my time. But that being said, I did pick up a few dope things, and yeah, basically these are all the things I picked up in the last 3 months. Alright, so I picked up a few anime. First off, I picked up A Silent Voice on Blu-ray and DVD. Unfortunately, it has a tear on it, which sucks, but I've been looking forward to checking out this film for quite some time now. I wasn't able to check this out in theaters, but I'm really surprised it took this long to get a Blu-ray release, but finally have it. Still have not watched it. I'm really looking forward to checking it out. My friend has been telling me nothing but great things about it, and I already read the manga. You guys already know that if you've seen my past videos. I really enjoy the story, and yeah, the animation looks really nice in here. Also picked up Dragon Ball Super Broly, the Walmart exclusive edition, which looks really nice. It has like a holographic image on here. I was going to pick up the Steelbook edition, but I just went with the Walmart one. Unlike A Silent Voice, I did watch this in theaters. It was one of my most anticipated films of the year. Really enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong, this film has its problems. There's some continuity changes that I didn't really like, but there's also a lot of changes that I really did like. Especially the origin story of Broly, which was one of my biggest problems in the original film. This one is definitely more fleshed out, and you actually care more about Broly, and you really don't look at him as a mindless, hulking villain. Don't get me wrong, I love the original Broly film, even enjoyed the second one. It's like a guilty pleasure for me. Also, I really loved what they did with Broly's backstory, tying it more to Vegeta instead of Goku. And yo, speaking of my boy Vegeta, they finally did him justice in this film. When he had that epic fight with Broly, which was like one of my favorite moments in the whole film, had me grinning the whole time. The animation also was really nice, minus some of the CGI animation, which looked a little weird. But like I said, there's some continuity changes that I really didn't like, mainly being Goku's origin story. Changes up big time, which I knew it would change up a bit, especially with Goku's mother being introduced in the manga. But I didn't like his origin story in here. It pretty much was identical to Superman, which they had similarities before, but this one was like just a carbon copy. And I especially didn't like what they did with Bardock. Like, I know Bardock, the father of Goku movie, isn't canon, but the film was awesome and it showed Bardock in a more mean and evil manner. Basically wasn't a good father, didn't care about Goku at all. But in this film, Bardock was completely the opposite. He was a nice guy, a good father. I personally didn't like it. Also, retconning Goku's age when they sent him to Earth was just weird. But minus some of those things, I still really enjoyed the film. I went crazy watching it in theaters. I had a lot of fun with it, and definitely need to rewatch this. Alright, so for the last anime I picked up is Mobile Suit G Gundam. So what can I say about G Gundam? I have been trying to get my hands on a physical copy of G Gundam for like the longest time. I'm happy that Right Stuff released this on Blu-ray because I loved G Gundam growing up. I know it's one of those in the franchise that's somewhat divisive because it's the first time in the franchise they made a self-contained plot which is set like in an alternate universe, and it basically strays away what Gundam franchise was all about. Like, they made G Gundam this over-the-top, high intense action martial arts series that's more closer to Dragon Ball Z meets Street Fighter, but with a bunch of mechs. And it's definitely campy, but like I said, I really enjoyed it growing up, and really am looking forward to rewatching this I'm thinking about doing a binge rewatch of some of the Gundam series, and this is definitely going to be the first one I check out. Alright, so moving on to the manga that I picked up, we have Blade of the Immortal Omnibus 8, which has like one of the sickest covers. This may be definitely my favorite cover from all the omnibuses so far. But yeah, getting into the actual volume itself, it was dope. You guys already know I have been really loving this series. But this volume, we're finally getting into that epic rematch that needs to be settled. And probably get more into that rematch into the 9th omnibus, which I'm really looking forward to. We have the latest volume of One Punch Man, volume 16, which I just received. It's still in its shrink wrap, so I have yet to read this volume. I'll probably get around to reading it right after I finish reading Akira, because I'm in the middle of reading that. So definitely once I finish Akira, I'll definitely read this volume. Up next, we have To Your Eternity volume 8. In this volume, we got to explore a new character, Prince Bon, who I thought I was not going to like, but he was pretty interesting, especially with his abilities to see ghosts. So I'm hoping they explore more of that, because in this series we've been having like a character of the week situation, which sometimes gets a little old for me personally, but overall I'm still enjoying the series. I think volume 9 just recently came out, so I still have to pick up that volume. Also got Gundam Wing Glory of Losers volume 10. I am a little bit behind in the series. I think I'm 2 volumes behind, unfortunately. But yeah, volume 10 was really good, especially since this volume covered one of my favorite Gundam Wing episodes, which is when Treize gave Hiro Yui the Gundam Epion, which is like one of my favorite Gundams of all time. I love the Gundam Epion. But yep, hopefully I will pick up the other 2 volumes so I can catch up soon to the series. And speaking of Gundam, we have Gundam Thunderbolt volume 10. Man, this volume was hype. So many crazy things happened in this volume. And that cliffhanger at the end, I did not see coming. So I'm really looking forward to volume 11. Up next, I have 20th Century Boys, The Perfect Edition Volume 3. Man, I really love this release so far, especially the spines. Like, they look amazing. Just really been enjoying the series. I love the mystery behind what's going on in the series. And I have to say, the pacing in the series is a lot faster than I was expecting it to be, but I'm really enjoying it. And definitely looking forward to picking up the rest of the volumes, because this has been like one of my favorite new releases right now. Alright, so that was pretty much all the manga I picked up. But to the graphic novels, I picked up Gorilla's Omnibus Edition. I saw another YouTuber pick this up in the trades. I think it was Samuel Trujillo. I thought it looked pretty dope, and it was. I really enjoyed it. It's supposed to follow this guy named John Francis Clayton, who is on his first tour duty in Vietnam, and he is going through hell, obviously facing death everywhere he goes. But all of a sudden he encounters these crazy chain-smoking chimpanzees who are murking dudes left and right, like they're elite soldiers. Obviously they're experimented chimps, so going through this, you're going to be going through the backstory of the main protagonist and these chimpanzees. But it's really good. Like, I really enjoyed reading it. It reminded me a lot, well, I would say it reminded me a little bit of Matt Reeves' Planet of the Apes films, but set in Vietnam. Obviously the tone is completely different. It's got humor, but it's very dark humor. Obviously it's very graphic, which is not shocking because it takes place in Vietnam. But overall, I had, like I said, a lot of fun reading it. I especially love the artwork, the black and gray illustrations. But yeah, overall, I highly recommend checking out this comic book. I also picked up the 2 trades of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. When I heard that this was great, I definitely had to pick it up because I was a big Power Rangers fan, especially growing up doing martial arts my whole life. Austin St. John and JC David Frank were like my idols as a kid. I used to have their karate seminars on VHS. I had their books. I was just a massive fan, and I have to say, reading this, it is definitely fantastic. Just reading these two trades, I'm already loving this. It may be my favorite iteration of the Power Rangers because it keeps its campiness of what the Power Rangers was, but also has a more mature tone, like for a much older audience. But like I said, it stays true to what the Power Rangers was, and they also feel more like superheroes in here, which they already were. But yeah, this takes place right after Green with Evil storyline, right when Tommy joins the Power Rangers. But the problem is Tommy's still dealing with the side effects of having been brainwashed by Rita Repulsa. And yeah, like I said, it's great. I can't wait to pick up more of the trades and get to the Shadow Grid story, which I heard it is pretty epic. So definitely going to be picking up those trades pretty soon. So that is pretty much everything I picked up for the last couple months. I hope you guys enjoyed the haul. Like, comment, subscribe, and your boy is out.